Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're doing the fourth part of our Garry's Mod dedicated server setup and installation guide. And in this one, we're covering how to start up the server properly. So for Windows, we're going to do it with a batch file just like this. You're going to want to go new text document. We're going to call it start, and then we change the extension to .bat instead of .txt. It'll give you a warning, but just go through that. If you don't see the .bat, you need to go to View, Options, and you want to go to View, and there should be a option saying Hide Extensions for Known File Types, and you'll need to make sure that's unticked, and then you create the file. Once you've got it created, we open it up, and we can copy-paste in what I've got in the guide. It's just this, the executable, -console, -game, Garry's Mod, and then we can add some extra ones like +map. Let's do GM constructs, just so it's one that we know is installed for default. We can do game mode and Terror Town, which is the Trouble in Terrorist Town game mode. And we can also add in our API stuff. So if you recall back to the previous video, we spoke about how you'd add add-ons to your server. The best way of doing that is through collections, and so we can add some extra stuff that will load collections. So that is the +host workshop collection, and then you put the collection ID and the -auth key API key. And so you can get your collection ID by going to collections, and you can then go to share, and it's this last bit with the $ID equals. So we just grab that number and pop that in here. Next, you'll need your API key. If you heeded my warning, and you definitely ought to, don't share this. The reason that I'm not going to put anyone in here is just so that I'm not exposing my API key. You may have noticed in the previous window that I have a with key bat, which I'm going to use to run. So yeah, that's the command. We end it with a pause, which just means if the server crashes or like is gracefully shut down, it'll wait for input before closing the window. So if there is an error message or something, you can see it. And yeah, beyond that, they're the fields I think you'll need. You definitely need to include map. I've learned that today through trial and error, that it needs to know what map to start with. I don't think game mode is optional, and it'll default to sandbox, but there it is if you need it. And then also as a little bit of other knowledge, these are flags with the minus, and these are console variables. So it'll set map console variable to GM construct. It'll set the game mode console variable to Terror Town. Yeah. So let's give it a go. So I'll save that, but I'm going to be running this one instead. And what should happen is it'll open up a command window. This is where the wait for input will happen if the server crashes. And this is actually the server console. So it'll do its business. You'll notice that it's loaded the add-ons at the top here. And when it's ready, it should say, yeah, so here you go. VAC secure mode is activated. So we are ready to connect. So let's start Gmod. And so we're in. Let's connect to our server. We'll use its internal IP address. And as you can see, we're connecting down here. We're not getting the connecting to server message, so it's actually speaking to the server. It's done its workshop download. If you have not downloaded the stuff yet, it may take a while, especially if you've got lots. And yeah, give it a moment and we should be straight through. And here we are. So you may notice that in my with key batch file, I had the server map set something else. It's TTT Submarine. But we're in Terror Town, and we're on the map I selected, even if it isn't the one that I did in the demonstration. And here we are. Server started. We've got the map from the add-ons, and it seems to all work. It won't start because there's just the one player, I could force it with commands, but you know, we know it works now. So for the moment, that is all of the sort of necessary steps. There'll be a few extra videos that'll add stuff like an admin console. I might do model selection, all that business. But I hope this has helped. I hope your server's working. And if you have any issues, let me know. Comments are on the Steam guide. And thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.